Some wept, some wore ribbons and buttons in remembrance of their loved ones. Others wore MSD Strong bracelets and shirts. All the victims and their families in the 7th floor courtroom at the Broward County Courthouse Wednesday sat together in solidarity, united in their grief and in their desire to see confessed school shooter Nikolas Cruz punished. Cruz entered the courtroom with Broward Sheriff's deputies everywhere. At least 18 uniformed deputies guarded the courtroom. Then Judge Elizabeth Shearer began to read the charges against Cruz.
You've been charged by indictment in count 1 of the indictment with murder in the first degree of Luke Hoyer, a first-degree felony punishable by up to death.
Defense attorneys agreed to waive the reading of all 34 charges of murder and attempted murder against Cruz for the massacre at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. The judge then entered a not guilty plea on Cruz's behalf as defense attorneys renewed their offer to have Cruz accept responsibility for the deadly school shooting and plead guilty.
We would just like to advise the court and the state of Florida that at any time Mr. Cruz is willing to enter a plea of guilty on all 34 counts, consecutive life sentences, in exchange for the waiver of the death penalty.
The prosecution did not respond. Prosecutors announced on Tuesday they intend to seek the death penalty against Cruz. Also in the courtroom, Cruz's brother Zachary, who wiped away tears, as well as the woman the Cruz brothers lived with for a time after their mother died, Roxanne Deschamps. The issue of the estate of Cruz's late mother dominated part of the hearing as the judge tried to determine if Cruz qualifies for the public defender. He has assets from his mother, like a bank account with more than $10,000 in it, several shares of Microsoft stock, and other funds, like a life insurance policy.
She had a $50,000 life insurance policy that was to be split between Nikolas Cruz and Zachary Cruz.
Those issues will be sorted out later. One of the people in the courtroom, Royer Borges. His son Anthony was shot 5 times at the school and is credited with saving the lives of more than a dozen students that tragic day. Borges said his son faces a long road ahead.
He's responding well to everything, with a lot of pain, but it's 5 bullet wounds, so it's little by little. It's not going to happen quickly. We have to concentrate with the family and keep praying. We thank everyone for their prayers.
His voice was one of many on a day when the reality of the criminal case against this man and the full accounting of his actions took its first major steps. Attorneys will return to court next month to sort out the finances here and whether Cruz has enough funds to hire a private attorney. The criminal case then will return to court at the end of April.
Now sit behind me in the Sacramento County Jail. They are facing murder charges in the K Street shooting that happened just last month. The two were already being held without bail on weapon charges. The third suspect, Mtula Payton, is still on the loose. But take a look at these newly released surveillance images. Joshua Hoy, who died in the shootout, may have joined the Martin brothers in a gun battle with Sergio Harris and Devais Turner, who also died, and Mtula Payton, who is still on the loose. The suspects each face 3 counts of murder for what the DA is calling the 3 innocent female victims. The DA did not charge them for the 3 men who died. Investigators believe some of the men involved in the shooting were members of the Crip Street gang, and officials say at least one of the victims had been linked by law enforcement to the Bloods gang.
The evidence shows that the rival gang members armed themselves with weapons. The evidence shows and will show that these individuals arm themselves with guns.
Assembly member Jim Cooper says to tackle gun violence, he is advocating to increase the number of infractions classified as violent crimes to reduce the number of people who qualify for early release.
The problem we have right now, these gang members are going around and they really feel there's zero accountability. If you look at some folks in the legislature, the new victim is a criminal.
According to District Attorney Anne Marie